Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to episode 9 of the Probably TMI Podcast with your gorgeous, beautiful, sexy hosts, Shelby, Madison, and Charlotte.
Sexy, beautiful, magical.
Mwah, mwah.
We are back better than ever, and we're ready to talk about some shit today. We're going to be talking about just idiots in the workplace. People lately, I don't know if you've noticed, over the last couple of years, customer service has been different than it was back in the day. We've noticed, we've had a lot of experiences lately that we kind of just want to talk about and debrief on it.
Totally.
Definitely. I think there's been like such a shift in how the workers are today than from how they used to be. And I think that COVID has played such a fat role in that.
Yeah.
Like how people used to handle customer service and how it is now. Like I feel like it's completely different now.
Yeah, and not even like a probable cause is COVID, but even without COVID, like it's just changed so much over the last like 10, 20 years or so.
Like the next generations coming in are just very different. And like, I don't know, there's definitely been a major shift in people's attitudes and like how people just like act towards one another. But on an unrelated note, I have a couple things just to say. First of all, when you guys are seeing this, we're going to be in the middle of like a hurricane.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, when this airs is like exactly when we're supposed to be hit directly in Tampa.
What is it? Hurricane
Ian. Hurricane Ian.
Yeah, we're supposed to get a direct hit as of right now, category 2, possibly 3.
It's a 3. Yeah, it's a
category 3, possibly more.
Just Florida things.
And
it's funny because, you know, the gag is with Floridians that like we would sit outside on a lawn chair during like a tropical tornado.
You'd think.
And like none of us know what we're doing. Like they're like, oh yes, a hurricane is definitely coming, but you're still going to work as of now.
Yeah.
Like,
right. Yeah. No, everyone leaves it up to like last minute, especially with teachers. So like about 5 years ago, we had Hurricane Irma.
Yeah.
Which was like the last.
I loved her.
That was like the last hurricane that was a bit more like
top 10 hurricane
intense. And my mom's a teacher, and like we were like, do we leave? Do we not?
Yeah.
And we couldn't make a decision, and we just had to hunker down.
Yeah.
Because they don't let you know until like last minute.
Yeah.
I was saying earlier, like I love the feeling of being in like a post-apocalyptic setting. Like it feels so nice. Like you're straying from the normal, like you're going to work, you're doing whatever. No, you are fighting for your life.
Yeah.
And it's gloomy and rainy outside and you're snuggled up. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I do too.
Let's hope it is that way and not catastrophic, as they're saying it might be.
Yeah, I really hope people are all okay and it's not like gonna be a major disaster to people's homes and flooding and everything.
Right. Well, you know what's weird? People were like going crazy about Irma, like literally a week before it even happened.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Irma changed.
Oh, hurricanes change every hour.
So it was predicted to be a Cat 5. And then it progressively went down and when it actually hit us, it was a Cat 2.
And it barely hit us, I feel like.
Yeah.
And so it still fucked us all up.
I mean, yeah, it definitely did damage, you know, like trees are down, our yards are a mess.
But like that was like the least of what we could have gotten.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay, yeah, good point there. When it comes out this next Tuesday, it's when it's supposed to come.
That's what we're going through in real time.
Hopefully we have some service to be able to upload the episode.
I'll have it like ready to go.
Yeah, so
pre-loaded.
Hopefully we won't lose it until like Wednesday.
No, hopefully you guys will find our soothing voices.
I was gonna say, I heard your voice start to get like this.
Hopefully you guys will have something to listen to and we're all getting struck by a tropical depression.
Yeah.
But you know what? I like it. If I don't have to go to work, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's a perfect time to binge all of our episodes.
Exactly.
Perfect.
As long as nobody dies.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing though, like literally like when Irma came though, everybody was like literally boarding up their houses. Like people were buying guns. People were so scared
to shoot the storm.
Absolutely. Yeah, they were going to post up with the storm.
Oh gosh.
No, I'm sure
I don't
they'll
know
do that. There's people
when I was just at the gas station to get my twisted tea, shout out.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. There was a man and his entire trunk was full of like the gas cans. Like he was just filling up gas cans and I'm like, where are you going?
Okay, am I just older or is like nobody doing that anymore? Like everybody's just like, the hits.
I think it's because people are starting to maybe get a little bit more smart, and after these other hurricanes we've been having, it's like, okay, maybe it's going to change by Sunday, Monday, and it's going to go completely, like...
Maybe that's when people go crazy.
Back into the Atlantic or some shit.
You never know.
You never know. Like, I don't even want to go out and, like, get gas or get water because I'm just, like, scared of other people.
Yeah.
But,
I'm like, I'll do it at 2 a.m. if I have to.
Yeah, these people are kind of scary, so I'm just going to chill at my house, hang out. We have a generator, so...
Oh, nice.
I'm just gonna vibe.
You guys have a generator?
Yeah.
Bougie.
But it takes gas, so you need gas.
True. Oh, maybe that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
then.
they probably have generators. They need gas up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my dad has to go to work tomorrow, and he works for Boar's Head, so he has to deliver a lot of product to the Publixes, and he has to work. Yeah, he has to deliver a lot of meat because
everyone's just
everybody's
everyone
needs their meat.
store.
Everybody's grocery
Gotta get
shopping.
your meat.
So yeah, he has to work tomorrow, and it's gonna be crazy. So
Y'all stay safe out there.
yeah, y'all stay safe.
Stay
We're
safe.
praying.
Hopefully we stay safe.
Yeah, we will be fine.
Honestly, who knows? You know what I mean?
Wish us luck.
If this is our last episode,
No.
we love you. But it's not.
It's been fun. We've
Yeah.
got to go to the afterworld.
All right. Cheers
Cheers.
to Ian.
Ian.
And in other news.
Yes.
So as you guys know, we're just like huge Diary of a Wimpy Kid fans.
Wait, did you tell her? Or did you already know?
No, Skylar just told
Okay,
me.
because I tweeted it to her last
Yeah,
night.
I know what
Okay.
you're gonna say.
Not Roderick from Loaded Diaper.
No.
But
Not
the
our
main
handsome
character,
daddy.
right?
Yeah.
Homeboy shot his mother
Killed her.
in the head
Killed her
while
dead.
she was playing piano, as if that's not dark enough.
That's dark.
In the back of the head, apparently. This from my husband. I didn't fact check him,
Fact
but
check.
I believe him. And then he loaded his car up with guns and was headed to the Prime Minister's House of Canada to shoot him. And now he has life in jail.
The kid from Diary
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, that's what I saw on Twitter last night. I was like, and you're like, no way. I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
We were just talking about that
my
movie.
That's
God.
wild.
Do you guys think I predicted that?
No. you said Roderick was hot.
I predicted his mother's death.
Wind the
medium.
tapes back. I said that. No, but Roderick is still fine. That doesn't change anything. I wonder what his thoughts
He
are.
is not a mother killer.
Maybe we can get him on the pod.
Maybe.
Ask him why his brother did that, even though it's not his real brother.
He had the cheese
Ask him
touch.
if he had any signs. The cheese touch.
That was the thing.
That's what did it. That's
It did-
what
that
really,
did him
That
in.
pushed him over the
Ay,
edge.
Dios mío.
Oh my gosh, all this negative news.
I
It's,
know.
like stressing me out.
Honestly, there's so much
Yeah.
negative news, but you know what? With negative news comes negative experiences, and that's what we're here to talk to you about today.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about basically all of the like employees that got the cheese touch.
Cheese touch.
And now are just wreaking havoc on the town.
We should totally name the episode that.
The cheese touch of the workplace.
Workers who have the cheese touch. That made me gag. So I have a story. If we're gonna kick this off,
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Can I share a short story?
I guess.
Sure.
So I think like what really what really put me like in the mindset to talk about this was we recently went to Orlando for Mad's birthday party at Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando.
Happy birthday, Raven.
Happy
Shout
birthday,
out
Raven.
Mads.
It was a lot of fun. And we had like a full night. We wake up the next morning and Mads and I decided to go get coffee for everybody. So we go to
so
this.
nice.
Yeah, we're so nice and endearing.
So nice and sexy.
We're so sexy. We go to Starbucks and it's like a hotel.
Nice hotel.
A nice hotel. And we're like, oh my God, this looks so nice.
Yeah.
So we're on our way in, and Mads is a former Starbucks employee, and I currently work at Starbucks. So we have high expectations.
Correct.
So we walk into Starbucks. We're waiting in line, and like, you know, the Starbucks looks really nice
Yeah,
inside.
like people are dressed up in suits, waiting for their coffee, ready to go on a business call. We're like, okay, this is going to be a good experience. Totally.
That's what we thought. So Mads goes up in order. Everything seems fine. And there's like 2 people waiting in line. Oh.
Sorry.
Wow. I felt that. So,
To my core.
Yeah, I had fried rice for dinner.
oh,
And
that'll
I'm
do
having
it.
a seltzer. It's a little indigestion.
That'll do it,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. No worries. So I'm step up after Mads went. And I look at the lady, like there's somebody in front of me that I was walking to and somebody else that looked like the manager. So I looked at her and I said, do you guys take partner numbers? And partner numbers is basically like, do you guys do the discount for
Yeah.
Starbucks workers here? So I said, do you guys take partner numbers? She goes, no, this is a private owned establishment. and said it just like that. Like, didn't even look at me in the eyes. I'm like, okay, weird.
Now, mind you, and I have gone to Starbucks with a few different Starbucks with Shelby. She always gives her partner numbers. You would think that people would be like, oh, like a fellow employee, someone that does what I do, they know what I'm going through on my day, I should be nice to them. No.
Nary.
Everyone acts as if you giving your partner's numbers is like just
a piss on the face.
Yeah, it's like you are just like setting them off.
It's like an inconvenience.
Yeah, exactly. You're inconveniencing them, and
oh my god,
see, it's wild.
When I was at Starbucks and someone came in and, hey, you guys take, like, my partner numbers are like, I have partners. I'm like, oh my god, hey, cool, what's up? What store do you work at?
Okay. Yeah, and that does happen.
Yeah, but
50,
I always
50.
made sure to do that. I was never rude to anybody for them wanting to give me their numbers. I'm like, yeah, girl.
I don't understand why people are so...
Just type in the number, easy.
Yeah. It's like, all you have to do is literally type in numbers.
Half of the people I get will be like, oh, cool, what store do you work at? The other part will be like, of course you do. Literally,
I've gotten that.
It's just those two different things. There's not been like a different reaction. It's either, okay, cool, so what store do you work at? Or... all right, yeah, of course you do. What are they? And it's like, there's no in between. So anyway, this bitch hits me with a 360 and says, it's a private owned establishment. Because Starbuckses and like hotels or Targets, they're their own business. Yeah. So other like outside Starbuckses are not really affiliated with them. So she very kindly told me that they don't take partner numbers. I said, okay. So, for some reason, this location was doing the old school, like, writing on the cups to do, instead of, like, you know, the stickers that we do now. She was writing on the cups, and I ordered Charlotte's drink. I said, can I have a tall, hot pumpkin spice latte? She writes it on the cup, puts it down. I'm like, great, she's done with that drink. And then I say, and can I have a venti iced coffee? And she cuts me off, and she goes, whipped cream? And I'm like, on the pumpkin spice? She goes, yeah.
And I started to order mine. I made a little look back.
I said, yeah, because that's how it comes standard.
Yeah.
If I didn't want it, I wouldn't have said it, bitch. Anyway, so I said, yeah, whipped cream.
Yeah.
So she puts a cup down. She grabs the venti iced drink, the venti iced cup. She starts writing on the cup. I said, venti iced coffee, please. No classic, cream. And she keeps, like, taking the cup and then starts putting it down. She kept putting it down as if I was done. And I was like, girl, you think I'm like, I like it just raw like that?
You already know I work here. You know I'm about to make some custom shit.
I was about to make some custom shit. I was about to whip that shit up like I do at work. I said 3 pumps sugar-free vanilla and cream and pumpkin cream cold foam. I didn't even get to say all that because she kept putting the cup down. And like, I looked at her, I'm like, okay, that's all then, I guess, because you won't give me the fucking time of day to finish my drink. She kept trying to, like, be like, okay, and next, okay, that'll be $12.
Like, sorry that we're asking you to do the bare minimum. That is your job.
Right, like, work the job. So, anyway, Mads and I are waiting for our beverages. They're not even, like, calling out our names when they're done with the drinks. They're just setting it down and walking away.
Well, my girl, she was like, I think got a caramel macchiato. She's like, iced caramel macchiato, doesn't look me in the eyes, doesn't say thank you, just hands it down and turns it back to me. I'm like...
Yeah, the girl that took mine didn't even look at me in the eyes.
I'm like, what is up y'all's asses this morning?
There was something up their ass. And then, so, I turned to Mads, I was like... I remember back in the day, I used to spend like a lot of time with my grandma and grandpa, and we'd always go to different places and like hang out and go out to eat. And I was like, you know, Mads, I never remember my grandparents complaining about anything back in the day. Not service, quality of food, like the environment. I never heard them complaining. And I was like, I really wonder if it's my grandparents that just don't complain, or if it's a completely different like environment now when you go out and see customer service, like going out to eat or like going to Starbucks. It's completely different now.
Yep. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
People are so self-absorbed these days. I don't know if it's because all these freaking pandemics. I don't know. It's just the time that we are now. But people are so they never want to go out of their way.
They feel like they're entitled.
Right.
People that have a job feel like they're entitled and they don't need to do shit for a paying customer.
It's like they don't care to put a smile on anybody else's face.
No.
And so we've all worked like customer service type jobs.
Yeah.
And I think we can all agree that we knew in the moment how to turn it on. Like if you're in a bad mood, that's fine. Be in a bad mood, whatever. But then once you're doing your customer service, you kind of just put on your fake face and your fake voice and you turn it on and you say whatever you have to say in a nice way because that's what you're being paid to do. And you just get through the customer and then you move on and you be pissy later.
It was just so unfortunate because like they're in this nice ass Starbucks. They probably get tipped well by these businessmen. And just the fact that like they were so unkind to Shelby and I that it literally like struck us to have a whole ass 20-minute conversation about shitty workplace people. Like it just really inspired us for this episode.
Yeah, this like moment is truly what like made this episode happen. Yeah. So that's how intense it was.
I don't know what hotel it was, but the one across the street from the Holiday Inn that we stayed at
in Orlando,
right by the bridge where you walk over to Universal Orlando Resort. You guys are mean.
They're mean.
We deserve a refund.
And that's the thing, though. Even if you're not at work, like, don't you want to be nice to people in general? I get that, like, kids these days don't give a fuck and they'll just have an attitude with whoever. But, like, if you're at work and in general, that just shows me what kind of person you are 24/7.
It literally takes more work out of a person to be like unkind to someone.
Like an uninterested asshole. Like, nobody wants to go to work and, like, flip patties or like make your stupid fucking drink. Like, I don't want to make your drink. I don't give a fuck. But you know what? I'm going to be nice about it and be like, okay. Like, at least be like, okay, thank you. Like,
yeah, you just know they're like miserable, nasty people.
I just don't understand like what goes through people's head for them to be a mean person. Like,
and when we were originally talking about this, I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt and be like, oh, well, maybe they were like, just, you know, maybe they got into it with each other, like maybe, you know, like maybe something else was happening that like they were just like too like, since they weren't making eye contact and all this stuff. But you guys said that they were like being happy and normal towards each other. Yeah. So it was like very specifically towards you guys. And like there was no other signs of like them having necessarily like
I think they
a bad day.
Profiled us because we walked into this nice ass bougie hotel. Okay. Shelby and I have 4X t-shirts on. We have running shorts, no bra. We haven't brushed our hair, haven't brushed our teeth. We look a little raw dogging.
We have to go Pretty Woman
which
them.
Isn't an excuse, but I think they might have just looked us up and down and been like, ugh, kind of thing.
Yeah, not an excuse.
No, not an excuse.
You would think that a bunch of people do that in a hotel. I would do that every morning.
I don't know. It was, oopsies, not the wheel.
Oh, not the hot wheel.
It was just very odd. Like how, it's like almost they were intentionally going out of their way to be
a bitch.
Rude to us.
And, you know, and circling back to like my point about my grandparents, I think, and I'm not saying this for everybody, I know everybody's different, but I personally have had so many, like countless bad experiences with people's attitude, quality of food, quality of service ever since COVID. Like everything fell down. Like, because, you know, obviously everybody Uber Eat. Not everybody, like, not everybody could afford to do that. It's expensive. But people who Uber Eats, I did it a few times, the quality of the food went down drastically for delivery. Everybody's forgetting stuff. It's half-ass made. Like, and I'm talking to you, Chipotle. I'm looking at you in the eyes, girl. Chipotle sucked shit. Like, they would fill your bowl up halfway, and the prices were hiked, of course, so you're spending $15 for, like, 3 pieces of lettuce.
As if, like, that affects the people making it whatsoever.
You know, and then it's like, anytime I go to Chick-fil-A now, it almost looks like I'm personally attacking somebody when I want sauce with my fucking sandwich.
Yeah, they've gotten very stingy with this sauce.
People are just not wanting to thoroughly do their job, and then they'll give you an attitude if they have to do it correctly.
Yeah, and I will say, honestly, I don't feel like I have a lot of these experiences.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of these experiences when I'm with Shelby.
Yeah. She's got that bad luck for some reason.
I don't know what it is. I think she, like, attracts it somehow.
But I don't initiate it, do I?
Not at all. No, it's like weird shit just happens to happen.
Yeah.
Like, she'll be like, hi, I have partner numbers. And someone will be like, oh, of course you do.
Yes.
It's just like, whoa. Like, there was one time that Shelby and I straight up were like our jaws dropped to the floor because we were just like, could not believe how rude the woman was. And that never happens to me, like, by myself.
Let me tell y'all, that Starbucks experience I had, I complained about it. I went to Starbucks once, and the lady literally kept interrupting me as I'm ordering my drink. And then she rushed me.
She said, like, yeah, she like rushed you, and then she was like, wait, what did you say?
Okay.
Which was just like, what? I thought you had it.
It's so funny that this is like your own company that you work for.
Yeah, exactly. But it makes it so much more like you know how it actually
It's supposed
is.
to
Like
be.
it's not that difficult.
It's no.
It's like it's wild.
This lady literally is like, basically like, can you hurry up with your order through the drive-thru? And I'm like, okay, shit. Like, I'll take a venti iced coffee, no classic, cream. She goes, what? An iced coffee? What's ice? I'm like, bitch, come on. And I roll through the drive-thru. I tell her I have partner number. Dead ass rolls her eyes at me and goes, of course you do. Okay. What are the numbers? No. Do you have it on the app? You're supposed to have it on the app. And I'm like, okay, let me pull up my app. Sure. And as I'm pulling it up, she's like, no, that'll take too much time.
Because we have a specific partner card on our app.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's like, no, that's going to take too much time. Give me the numbers.
Give it to me.
And I'm like, the numbers.
I literally
Shelby
told
goes, no, I'm going to pull up the app.
I said, no, you're being a literal bitch to me right now. I'm going to pull up the app like you just said.
Yeah, but she said it all very nicely. Shelby was nothing but an angel, and this woman was just like coming for her.
Raw dogging me,
for
bro.
no fucking reason.
Yeah. But like, I find it very interesting because there seems to be like a battle of the ages in the workplace. No, like, you know, how older people have felt when they've gone to work versus how we are now.
So I was actually recently talking to my sister about this, and so like I said, we all work in like custard. We've all worked in
Like,
the custard
yeah.
and customer service type jobs. My sister's an accountant, so she has a very different type of environment. And her perception, and she's also 6 years older than me, so she's 31 now. So she has a very different perspective on like the newer generations as well. And her perspective is very much like everyone coming in doesn't want to work. They're all lazy. They all are very, what was the word you used earlier?
Perezosa.
Huh?
They're all entitled.
Perezosa.
Perezoso,
That means
perezosa.
lazy.
Oh, lazy. Entitled though.
Yeah.
Like they're all very entitled, lazy. They don't want to work. They just think that they deserve the world. And I get that. I really do. But I also just have realized from my past job of being in a corporate position with workers' comp, that these types of like corporate jobs, they expect the world from you.
Oh, yeah.
And give you nothing.
No pay.
They don't give a single fuck about you.
Yeah.
And that's not speaking for every company. That was my experience with my company that I was with. I'm sure there's a lot of great companies out there that do more. Yeah. But yeah, they just don't really care. Like, and they really do expect the world from you. They expect you to work overtime. They expect you to work over your overtime that you don't even get paid for.
Yeah.
And
They're like, oh, but we'll give you $12 an hour and you get a great environment at work.
I mean, I got paid well. Don't get me wrong.
Camera change.
Sorry, guys. We had to change the camera, and for all of our YouTube people, it's going to look a little bit different. So
Yeah. And do you guys remember what I said last?
you were talking about your sister, right?
Yeah, how she views it differently, but you also, people don't get paid enough for the job that they're expected to do.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, from my perspective of being in the workplace, and my experience, I think that I realized that they just expect so much from you. Mm-hmm. Sorry if I slam. Also, Shelby just yelled at me. Secretively, without any words, she yelled at me.
tickled her palm.
No, but they just expect so much from you. They think that like you are gonna dedicate your life to them and their company, and especially since COVID, I think with not going into the office, working from home, I think that gives people more of a like you're a robot, not a real person type of vibes.
Yeah.
And you know, I just got to a point with my job where I was like, this is not healthy. Like my mental health was not doing well. I felt so drained by the job, and I'm like, I need to set boundaries for myself in whatever career I'm in. And that's kind of what I think the difference is like setting healthy work boundaries for yourself. And that's what other people that are older and maybe don't have that like idea think you're being lazy.
Exactly. You could not have said it better.
Yeah, because it's just kind of like you either work yourself to the bone where you get burnt out or you are looked at as a lazy person who doesn't want to, stay late and do all these things. When I tell you, so just to give a little perspective, because I haven't talked about it much, but before I quit my job, I got a promotion in January, and what was it last month? What was last month? August?
Yeah.
So from January to August, I worked overtime every single day.
Yep.
I worked overtime every week, like at whatever hours that they gave me that they would pay me for. Because I did work sometimes overtime that was unpaid, but not too much, because I was like, that was one of my boundaries that I was setting for myself. But then it got to a point where I was going on a vacation, and I was like, they said, we're only going to approve your vacation time if you're current on all of your work, which is fair. Mm-hmm. And so I worked my ass off those weeks leading up to my vacation. I worked overtime that was not paid for, and because I wanted to go on vacation. Like, I wanted to give myself, I think I had like 10 vacation days that I saved up that I earned. That's another thing. I earned vacation days, okay? I put in the work, I earned vacation days, and they were going to tell me, we're not going to give you permission to go on those vacation days unless you're current, which again, that's fair, but also kind of not.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
But, giving them the benefit of the doubt, I'm like, okay, that's fair. Even though it wasn't because I was working the desk of like 3 people, but still. Again, I could rant about this
for
forever.
the pay of 1, of course.
Yes. But, and so up to that point, I'm like losing my train of thought also as I'm talking.
She's getting heated.
Yeah, I'm getting heated. I'm going to have a panic attack about this later. No, but, so right before I went on to my vacation, my desk was current. I was the most caught up with all of my work that I had been since I started the position. And I had a meeting, which I had 2 meetings with my supervisor each week. So I had my one-on-one meeting with my supervisor, and that motherfucker gave me a performance warning because I didn't make 2 phone calls the day prior, even though I had already worked over my overtime. Mm-hmm. But I was expected to stay even later to make just 2 more phone calls, which, by the way, like I said, this is the most caught up I've ever been. In the past I had so many calls that like were not made because it was impossible to make all of them.
Yeah.
So this is the most caught up I had ever been. I didn't make 2 calls. He gave me a fucking performance warning. And that's where I lost my shit. I was like...
Yeah, she was devastated.
No. I was like, that is like such a slap in the face to say, just so you know, all that hard work, all of your tears, like, all your panic attacks, your mental health going down the drain, all of those things that you're putting yourself through just to make us happy so you can go on a freaking vacation and give yourself a break.
Sorry.
Good God, woman.
You guys. I know, this is so serious.
I'm a gassy
episode. This is so serious.
Yeah, and they have the balls to tell me. I just keep going into it. But yeah, they had the balls to tell me like that I was getting a performance warning, which also, mind you, literally meant nothing, but it did mean a lot to me because it did feel like a slap in the face. And that's where I just really feel like you're gonna like that. They have this persona now of me. Like, this is how I felt. They had this idea of me, you're lazy. You don't want to put the work in. You don't want to stay late to put in those 2 extra calls. Yeah. Where, mind you, from my perspective, I was putting in a shit ton of work. And
it wasn't recognized.
I was trying to set my... Yeah, there was... never. That was not even a thing. Like, you did not get any, like, pat on the back, good job. That was never happening. It was always, you can do more. But, it was like, okay, I'm going to set some healthy boundaries for myself. It's like 8 o'clock at night. I need to stop working. And, just fucking slap me in the face and
spit on your face. Yeah.
Let me add that this guy, the lead that was in front of Charlotte, had it out for Charlotte. He was a bitch from the start. This guy was like actually like stereotypical, like power hungry, misogynistic, like probably got no attention at home type of manager.
Hasn't gotten his dick sucked in like a few
a long time.
For sure.
He totally was acting like that.
Yeah, anytime I would have a meeting with him and our manager, he'd get all serious and he'd be like, Charlotte, I am your supervisor and you need to do what I say when I say it. I'm not even fucking kidding. That's how he was. And I literally would be like, respectfully, no, I fucking don't.
Oh my God.
Because you're literally just a person and I am doing my best.
Right.
So I literally would go off, dude. Like, because I, especially towards the end, I just literally completely stopped responding to him because I was like, fuck you. Mm-hmm. You are literally the reason why I'm quitting. Like, I hated this guy so much.
But that's the thing.
He was awful.
The older generation would have said, well, that's your boss.
Yeah,
that's your boss.
Fuck him.
And then the older generation will say, oh, these kids and their like anxiety and their panic attacks. Yeah. We have gone through collectively as a generation so fucking much. We've literally gone through school shootings, pandemics, economy literally crashing. But I just feel like our generation has been through a lot.
The ringer.
Like, I don't want to say more than what the older generation has gone through because I don't want to like discredit what they went through in their lifetimes, but our generation has been through so much, and I think that it's really important for the older generation to realize that our generation is simply trying to stand up for what has been wrong in the workplace for so long and make that change that I'm sure a lot of people have wanted to do in the beginning anyway.
I mean, there's a very different sides of the spectrum, I feel like, because we're talking about how you just need to stop being rude to people and just do your job, and like, why are you so miserable and making other people miserable? Does that make you happy to be miserable? And then we're also talking about how we are underappreciated in the workplace, so it's it's definitely
right.
But that's where, like I was saying, how like we know how to turn it on. Mm-hmm. Like you can like have an issue with your job and like the corporation and like the overall company, but when you're face to face with another person, like we're all humans, like we're just human beings, we're all just like doing our best, we're all just pretending to be adults here when we're just like a bunch of adult children, and it's like, just be kind, like just be fucking kind.
I can never imagine walking into my classroom and acting like a complete cunt.
Right.
I don't like that word.
Even if you're like, even though your kids are probably gonna put you through it
every day,
and you're just gonna have to breathe and deal with it with kindness, right? Yeah. Because that's what you do as a teacher, and that's what I think you have to do in really any job. And then you bitch and complain later to your friends and family.
Like I feel like as a society, we've been like, we live to work.
Which is
sad. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of working to live.
Mm-hmm. You guys, the bottom line is that everything is so hard these days. Like going to the grocery store, if you want like enough groceries to sustain your family, you're gonna have to pay like $400. Like everything is very expensive, and a full ride through college, what would have been like $300 back in the 1900s is like probably $20,000 nowadays. We're a generation that's struggling financially, mentally. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. We've seen wars, we've seen famine, we've seen economy crashing, depressions. We've seen it all, and the least that we're asking for is to be appreciated at the workplace. There's nothing that's more unsettling than going to work knowing that your manager, your boss, doesn't give a single fuck about you. And I think that's the big problem that we're trying to fight for, is that like most of us are not lazy. Most of us are working our asses off, and we're getting paid nothing for it. I have my bachelor's in psychology, and
period.
That alone, I get even a starting position as like having my degree, I get like literally what I'm making at Starbucks, like 15 an hour. That's not a sustainable wage.
Retweet.
Even if I'm working 35, 40 hours a week, I'm going to be able to pay rent and that's it. I'm not going to be able to pay anything fucking else, and I'm going through the most. You know what I mean? It's just like...
Yeah. And that's another thing too with leadership. If you have a leadership role, like a manager, supervisor, etc., give leadership training. They need training on how to be a leader, because that's not common sense apparently. And you need to have someone in a leadership role who knows how to have a team work behind them and want them to be successful. Because if you have a team of people that you are in charge of and that you are supervising and whatever, managing whatever, those people, you need them to want to like you and want to do well for you to make you look good. Because if all of your people and your team fucking hate you, guess what? They're gonna work in a way to show that.
In a reflection,
the work that they do will reflect how they feel about you. And with that being said, doing a training where you sit down and you watch a video, that's not like a proper training for a leadership role. Yeah. Like, these people need actual training on, like, because when you're just a douchebag to like, and you just like talk to people like in a certain way that makes them hate you, you're not going to get the results that you want from people.
They're disconnected. Corporate's disconnected from the realities of the people that are working.
Yeah, they just, everyone's so brainwashed. Like, you're not a human being anymore. You're a robot, and I'm going to treat you like a robot because, God forbid, you have feelings and a mental health
crises.
Yes.
At Starbucks, you know what they say? You have to work on bar making drinks. That literally, let me actually read you guys the drink that I had just the other day.
From Janice?
From Janice. This is what she wanted. Janice wanted a venti pumpkin spice latte, non-fat milk, extra hot, light foam, blonde espresso, 4 pumps sugar-free vanilla, 2 pumps pumpkin sauce, stevia, no whip, and no pumpkin topping. That's one drink. And corporate wants us to make those drinks while we're also engaging with the customers, saying hello, queuing another drink, making sure we're ensuring a quality drink at that, while we're queuing other drinks, making sure that our fridges are stocked with milk, being involved in the community. Like, they're expecting all of that shit from us, and then they're gonna make rules that they'll be, okay, a rule that they want us to make is, we want to make your job easier for the cold foams. We want to give you guys handheld cold foam machines. You can just bring it wherever you want. Like, walk around the job and it'll be able to blend the cold foam wherever you are. And we're like, we don't need that. Like, we don't need that. Like, portable like milkshake makers for the cold foam. And it's like, that shows how disconnected you people are. That is not what we need. We need to like be able to work and not have to fucking get scoliosis from
that. Is another thing. I'm sorry. The people that are making decisions for the people who are working their day-to-day job are not people that do the fucking job.
Oh my God, yes! They do not know.
Get into the stores, get into wherever the people who are doing the job are, do the job with them and see what needs to be improved.
You know what they do at Starbucks? They outside hire for store managers, which means store managers that literally run the entire store have never worked at Starbucks before. So they're completely new to the business and they're leading the business.
Right. And so how much respect do you have for that leadership?
None. Everybody does not like
period.
The store managers because they don't get it.
I'm just thinking about how Janice could have ordered that a lot cheaper. She could have just Janice could have just, instead of getting a PSL, which is already like $6 for a venti, she could have just done a skinny vanilla latte with pumpkin. That's it.
PSA, everybody, life hack. Mads just hit you with.
Guys,
save your money.
Make your life easier.
Let me
make our life easier by making your life easier. Yeah. Live better.
Live, laugh, love. Real quick, this is giving me like a few episode vibes because our cameras died twice now. We switched to Charlotte's camera because my camera died and then her camera died. So now we're back to my camera.
And then all it charged, we filmed a TikTok, so go watch it.
Yeah, we filmed a TikTok. It was great. But anyway, I think a really big point here is that like there's such a disconnect between the values of the older generation in the workforce and our generation. Like, the older generation was willing to, what?
We need to get, like, all of our burps and can join them into, like, a clip.
Okay.
Just, like, throughout the
compilation.
Literally.
I'm drinking beer tonight, guys. I'm sorry.
Shelby and Mads burping for 10 minutes straight.
True.
It's the bubbles, man. It's the bubbles.
But, like, the older generation will say that we're lazy and that we're disrespectful. But in reality, we're just trying to fight for equality and to feel valued in the workplace. And that's something that y'all never had, but had to live with it. So that means everyone has to.
And until we have that, try treating people with kindness, by the words of Harry Styles. Because just because you're miserable, we all are miserable.
Yeah.
But it won't kill you to show a little kindness to each other because we're all going through the same shit.
Yeah.
So just get through it together, baby.
Slap a goddamn smile on for the $10 an hour you're making. I don't care. I don't care.
Real.
We're all miserable, bro.
Everybody has those days.
Just be miserable together and love each other.
Mm-hmm. Period.
Period.
Anybody have anything else to add to the crises that we're going through?
I mean, we hit a lot of different things. We could probably rant about it for like hours.
Yeah, it's definitely a topic that I'm sure every person, except if you're famous and a celebrity and have millions or trillions of dollars, can relate to.
We really just scraped the surface too of like our experiences, I would say.
I think like, if I'll be honest, and maybe we can do a poll on this, but the worst customer service I've ever received from consistently is Chipotle. Chipotle has constantly been assholes to me.
Skylar worked at Chipotle, so we could get his input on that.
They compensate decently if they fuck up.
They do.
In the moment, they're not. They don't care at all.
Yeah, from what I remember with Skylar working at Chipotle was that like I think everyone he hated it, and I think everyone there was like a lot of turnover in the people that worked there, and I think that like his manager was just like some random girl that like had no clue what she was doing, like just some random person, probably like an outside hire, like you said.
Yeah.
So it was probably very similar to what you're talking about.
Cheers to never getting sponsored by Chipotle or Starbucks.
Period.
Period.
You guys, please turn your act around. All right, so I think it's time for everybody to announce their TMIs of the week.
Oh my god.
Do you have one?
No, I need to think for a minute.
I have one.
I mean, I have one. You want me to go?
You go.
My TMI. So, like we mentioned, we went to Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, you poor girl.
Yeah. So Mads is the only one that experienced this.
Yeah.
But basically,
I was
asleep.
Like a baby. I was asleep like a baby.
My entire day, the first day that we went, I didn't consume a single drop of water. And I was only drinking...
Red flag.
I was only drinking alcohol. And mind you, I didn't drink enough alcohol to, like, really get very sick, like, by any means. Like, I had...
You can buzz, a little junkie drunk.
Yeah, like, I had, like, a pina colada at the beginning. And it was over the span of, like, hours.
Oh,
so, like, there's just really no way that I could have gotten as sick as I did.
Yeah.
But, so my conclusion is that I got extremely dehydrated at Halloween Horror Nights.
Lots of walking, too.
Yeah, lots of walking.
Hot.
Yeah, you know, Florida. It was thankfully raining, so it wasn't like really hot. It was actually kind of nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
But yeah, so I got really dehydrated, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I like was shitting my brains out.
She was.
And throwing up like crazy. And so I was like in the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I'm very uncomfortable. Like, I just want to lay down. So I go and I lay down, but I left the light on, and that, like, woke Mads up because are you a light sleeper?
Yeah, I'm a light sleeper, and I can't sleep with light on.
Yeah, so I woke Mads up.
The worst scenario.
And Mads gets up, and, like, I still was sick, though, and, like, oh my gosh.
You were out of it.
I was really, like, yeah, exactly. I was very out of it, but I think what was going through my mind was that I still needed to kind of be in the bathroom. Like, I needed access, but Mads got up. So my initial reaction was like, oh, she has to go to the bathroom. Yeah. And like, I don't know what was wrong with me, but I literally just threw myself on the ground. And she was just like, what the fuck?
I just went to go turn off the light.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm like, do you need the bathroom? And she's like, no, I was just turning the light off.
And she just flops her body onto the ground. I'm like, are you okay?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know. I'm shitting out of my ass. I'm throwing up. Like, I'm like, oh no, what do you need?
Yeah, I literally, like, I had no idea. And then I just ran to the bathroom. Like, when she said no, I just ran to the bathroom. I pulled my pants down and sat up.
And I'm just watching her, like...
Yeah. She's like, how can I help you? And I was like, get me a hair tie.
I was like, okay.
So, that was, like, yeah, I don't know the last time I was that sick, honestly.
Well,
like,
I'm glad, I mean,
really
it was, like, all night, but I was scared you were going to wake up feeling shit, but luckily it just went through you.
No, so I was drained, like, everything came, like, was out, and then, shower. And then the next day, my gorgeous little angels here went to Starbucks.
Oh, yeah, to get you a coffee.
Got me my coffee.
Had our experience.
And had the experience which created the episode.
Experience of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Nice. Truly. It's the day-to-day life of inspiration we get to film these episodes for you. Mm-hmm. It really is.
Yeah, so that was my TMI. It was it was
so you
bad,
just
but
shit and spat everything out.
Just
Skinny.
and then the next day, I just I was like, I need to hydrate. Like I just tried to drink as much water as I could, and I was much better. So that was good.
We were all fighting for our lives. Well, you and Vince were fighting for your lives.
Yeah, different days though. Luckily, or else the bathroom would have been crowded.
Taking turns. He's choking. You're puking.
Yeah, puking in the sink.
I'm shitting my fucking pants.
Oh my
that would have
gosh.
been miserable. So luckily we had our moments on different days.
Yeah.
Shout out Vince.
Yeah, right. How about you, Shell? What's your TMI of the week?
My TMI, I gave this a lot of thought and consideration because I know that people from my work watch this podcast.
Hey, y'all.
But I found out the last week that people from my work, some people, specific people from my work, don't like me.
How did you find that out?
I found that out through other people.
Are you gonna say names?
No.
Oh.
I know who it is.
Call them out.
Well, one girl. I don't want
Put them on blast.
I don't want to say the one girl I work with that I work with right now that doesn't like me, that I found out through other people. But she's such a supporter of the podcast and like me, so it really hurt my feelings. It really hurt my feelings because I like her, and I was surprised because I was like saying at work, I was like, oh, I feel like this person like doesn't like me. Like things haven't been the same, and they just stopped liking me out of nowhere. I could tell, and they're like, oh yeah, she doesn't like you at all. That was like a matter of fact statement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. And I'm like, what? What? Like, what happened? I don't even know what happened. And then the other girl doesn't work at Starbucks, but her name's Maisie. And her and I would go back and forth with like funny banter, like back and forth, like hating on each other. But I thought it was funny. And I thought she did too. Like we had that kind of like sarcastic, like, oh, fuck you, bitch. She'd be like, fuck you, asshole. Like that kind of thing. And it'd be like, ah.
And it's like, turns out she's serious.
She was serious and I was kidding. But apparently this other person, they were good friends, Maisie and this other person. And she didn't like me. And this other person didn't like me because Maisie didn't like me and thought I was mean. And I was like, what? You literally called me fat and you were not joking, I guess. And I like literally, I remember telling Mads a long time ago, like I could tell when those two stopped liking me and I never understood why. So I just kind of stuck to myself because I didn't give a fuck. Yeah. Like I really didn't understand why, but I was still going to be nice and like try and maintain a good environment for myself. And Charlotte's drawing like water starfishes on the table. I found out for a matter of fact that they don't like me, and I've never ever heard before that people don't like me ever in my life.
It's a first for everything.
I know like people obviously haven't liked me before, but I haven't ever found out as a matter of fact statement. So I was like, oh. And it really shocked me, but the people that told me that at the time were like, girl, you have nothing to worry about. Like, that's just incorrect. And I was like, okay, well, I feel a little bit more validated, but yeah.
Work relationships are weird.
It just sucks when you work somewhere and you don't, like, you can't enjoy the people that you're working with because the cast and crew matters because they make the job a little bit more sufferable. So
yeah, finding
out that, like, the people that you work with don't like you and you can tell they don't like you. Oh my God, sorry, my dad. Oh my God. What is he doing? Is he okay?
He's just hacking.
Oh, Jesus. But, yeah, that's hard to hear. Like, yeah, they don't like you. Everything that they've done to you, yeah, it's because they don't like you at all.
So who's the drama starter of all of this? Like, who, can we say who spilled the beans?
I don't want to say because they told me
Do you think that they are maybe not telling the full truth?
No, because they were straight up like, yeah, I thought everybody knew that Maisie didn't like you. Oh. And I was like, what?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? They're like,
so you don't think they're just stirring the pot? You think
because like
three
different people were like, yeah, she didn't like you. Like, she said you were mean to her. And I was like, what?
What? When I said, fuck you, bitch? She thought I was being mean?
Well, but that's the thing, because Maisie would, like, come to me and, like, talk to me, and we'd, like, share jokes, and then, like, it seemed like we were friends, like, to have that kind of chat.
Yeah.
And then
we all say that all the time.
Yeah, and then to turn around and, like, be like, yeah, she actually didn't like you. I'm like, what?
She's very young. She's, like, think she just turned 18.
That's what the other people were saying. They're like, she's young. I think she's just like weird. I'm like, okay. But it hurt my feelings. I was like,
it hurt my feelings, damn it.
I was like, I liked both of you a lot. So that sucks.
Maybe you should apologize for being mean.
I was thinking of that. She doesn't live here anymore. She lives
on the air, I mean.
Oh,
apologize.
Maisie, if you're watching this, I thought we were cool. And when you called me fat, I thought you were joking.
That's just incorrect.
I thought we were kidding, and we joked around about you going to your new college and like having fun, and hopefully you're doing good out there. I thought we were cool. And to this other person that I still work with, I still like you.
I'm glad I left that place.
I still like you, but I don't understand why you don't like me, but I noticed. I know you don't. Okay, that's it.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, my TMI.
Let's move on.
It's not that exciting, honestly. I think because of just stress with my work, my job, I've had my period twice this month.
Really?
Dude, that was me last month.
I know.
Wait.
Wow.
Yeah.
My girls are not doing
This
good.
last week.
We're a menstrual mess.
It's a Saturday night. We're recording late this week. But this whole past week, I've had my period. And then 2 weeks ago, I had my period.
Damn, I'm sorry.
Not pregnant, though.
I'm happy.
Yeah, right?
I'm happy she's getting it twice. You know, Matt has the best cycle I've ever heard of. She has such a good light cycle.
Well, not right now. It's the stress. It's like coming out.
Damn.
Yeah, usually, since I've been on birth control,
Has it happened to you before where you've had 2 in a month?
Matt's has like never had a regular cycle.
That's really weird.
I think it's stress.
No, but that's so weird because that literally was me last month.
I usually have like 3-4 day period and they're really light.
Me too.
Probably TMI.
Probably TMI, but like what's going on?
Any gynos out there, help me out. Is it stress?
Stress.
Do I have some type of...
You don't.
Are we affecting each other?
We see each other.
We see each other once a week. If anything, it's y'all.
Hey, I'm not on birth control, so...
But that's my TMI. It's not really exciting. Hopefully it doesn't happen again because it's kind of annoying and I had to buy tampons and tampons are expensive.
That's true.
That's gotta go to Sam's Club.
Yeah.
Real quick, for all of my listeners, thank you for sharing your TMIs, ladies.
All of your personal listeners.
That was great. My personal listeners?
Yeah, all of my listeners.
Did I say my
listeners?
listeners?
You did.
I didn't mean to say that.
It was funny.
This is
only
mine.
for Shell.
Okay, for all of our listeners, sorry, what the fuck? I found a TikTok that it, like, perfectly explained and encapsulated, like, what we were talking about.
You want to play it?
So I'm gonna... Yeah, I'll play it.
Okay, let me keep them busy.
Wait. Okay, do it.
Hey guys, I hope you're having a great weekend. It's a Saturday night. I'm doing ASMR. Charlotte, do you want to add anything?
Period. Period. Ooh.
Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. Oh yeah.
You're welcome.
Scalp massage, scalp massage.
Y'all,
comment below if you want to see us do a mukbang. Comment down below if we should carve some pumpkins for Halloween.
What the fuck is up with 18 to 25-year-olds right now, you guys?
So clearly I'm not Gen Z, but they're the generation I worked with the most since going into the field of mental health in 2004. So here's my perspective as a mental health professional. 1. Gen Z is the first generation in a long time to grow up truly feeling like they're not safe. They're the first generation that couldn't escape bullying. Unlike previous generations, Gen Z came home from school and still had to deal with texts, tweets, DMs, snaps, all this intrusive messaging that didn't stop. They were exposed to 9/11 as kids. They grew up constantly hearing about mass violence at schools, concerts, clubs, malls. They witnessed politicians choosing money over their safety. Many of them started early adulthood at the beginning of a pandemic, where they watched vulnerable groups of people such as the elderly, disabled, immunocompromised, and the BIPOC community lose their lives in larger numbers because a worldwide pandemic was politicized. Gen Z witnessed many Americans, some of which were their own parents, fight for their right to endanger the lives of other people because a mask and a safe vaccine were just too much. And before even hitting adulthood, Gen Z is either experiencing themselves or watching people that they love have their basic human rights stripped away. All because another person's religion doesn't approve of their existence. Gen Z is the first generation to have incurred this much debt with little to no way out of it. They are the first generation to truly accept the idea of getting help and support with mental health services. And as a result, when they're able to express themselves in healthier and more positive ways, the older generations are calling them crybabies and too emotional. And when Gen Z expresses frustration, anger, sadness at what they are seeing going on around them, they are being told they are entitled and lazy. One of the most important factors is that because of the explosion of social media in their childhood, they grew up seeing all of the craziness that happens outside of their small bubble they grew up in. And they're the first generation to witness that since childhood. But here's the key difference. They grew up seeing it, but because they were children, they were unable to do anything about it or control it. And that's what causes issues. But they can control it now. They're mobilizing because they can now. They're not helpless anymore. And we as the older generations can do one of two things. Help support them or get the fuck out of their way. Because they're coming whether we like it or not. That is why I admire them. That is why they have earned my respect.
Yeah, but I thought that perfectly encapsulated what our generation has gone through.
A lot of good points.
Yeah.
The only and I don't really want to get into it because we've already just about hit an hour, but that is so I didn't even think about how different it was for the next generation with politics and everything. That's truly not anything anyone else has experienced before, being so vocal about this with social media, all of that. That's such a different dynamic that no one else has ever had to experience before.
We've had to
and no one knows how it's going to affect people growing up. So yeah, I think that's very good points for sure.
Good points. All right, guys. Well, I just wanted to share that, but I think now we all know what time it is.
Dun, da, da, da.
Hot Wheels! Hot Wheels.
Period.
Okay, I think... Yeah, that's going to be an audio nightmare. I think it's my turn if I'm not mistaken.
Are we just going to rotate?
Yeah,
I
I
went
think
last. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I spin the wheel.
I hold, you spin.
Hold.
Oh, that was weak.
You think it was weak?
Do you want to go again or do you want to?
I think that was fine. I gave it my all.
Oh,
What does it say?
same one I had.
What is it?
Someone you hated in high school.
Juicy. Say it by name. Say it by
I
name.
will. Let me think. Somebody I hated.
You say first name,
Somebody I hated in high school. Did I have somebody that I hated in high school? Do you remember?
Anyone that bullied you?
Oh, I was bullied in high school once. Yes.
Oh, who was it?
Madison.
But did you hate her? You were friends.
We were friends, but she did bully me about my Tourette's.
Rude.
Behind my back. So that was bullying. Oh, and also a guy that I was dating.
dropping first and last names.
Ooh, you're right. Anyway, another guy that bullied me about he said that I was ugly and that the friend that I was talking to shouldn't talk to me because I was too ugly.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Who was that?
It was a guy named Lane.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember his last name.
But did you hate him?
I remember him.
No. I feel like I definitely had people I really
Do you want to spin again, or do you just want to use that?
Is there someone that just their presence irked you? If they walked into your classroom, you would get physically
no
clenched.
All right, well that was my Hot Wheels.
All right, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
I think that's a wrap, guys.
Wow, let's wrap this hell up.
This was crazy.
Okay, next week we hit double digits on recording.
Double digits on recording.
Hell to the yeah.
And we have a special new series coming to you next month.
It's going to be exciting.
For the series.
Did we tell them?
Let's just give a little hint.
Okay.
Spooky.
We've got a lot of spooky stuff coming your way for the month of October, and we're so excited. We have whole new intros, whole new outros.
So many good topics.
So many good topics, and let's just say we're going to bring a little bit of spice to the set. So please come and watch. We're so excited to see you next month, and I think that's it for episode 9.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, burp it out, and
Burp it out.
Hit that notification bell so you don't miss an episode of Probably TMI.
Never miss that. We love you guys. stay tuned. And
Mwah.
for the love of God, let us know what you think of these episodes.
Please. We need more feedback or else we're just going to keep on doing this.
We're going to keep on going.
And submit your TMIs, guys.
Yeah, nobody's submitting.
We haven't had a TMI to share for a minute, so...
If anybody's making it this far into the episode, please let us know. Like,
Comment pussy!
Comment pussy!
Are we talking to anyone right now?
So true. Let us know.
Or have you clicked off? We love you anyways.
That's a really good question.
Longest
Regardless.
outro of all time.
Rate us 5 stars.
We're sad.
We're trying to sign a label.
Sign a label. We love you guys.
We need money. Love you.
Bye.
See you next week. Mwah.